Hi YouTube, my name's Sean Connors and this is Outsiders, and welcome back to my channel. Today is the DM's Tips programme. After what I can only consider to be a very long night of working actually, I feel really refreshed this morning and really up for the next set of videos. I want to try and do 2 or 3 today. Anyway, today I'm going to cover off some DM's tips, and this particular video is definitely one that you could classify as an advanced video, because this is going to touch on a subject matter that could easily take more than one video, and probably in the end we may well have to expand upon this in future DM's Tips programs. And this is director's cuts, I like to refer to it as. And when you think about DMing, there's a lot of similarities actually between us and film directors in many ways. There are a lot of similarities and there are a few really distinct differences, because we have, like they do, you're appealing to an audience. The biggest difference, I think, is that where a director will tell his actors and his actresses, this is what I want from you, this is what I'm looking for, we can't do that. We can guide them, but we can't actually tell them what to do. So we have to realise that in the case of a true film director, he's looking at what his potential audience is going to be, whereas for us, the actors and actresses are our audience. Doesn't matter what other people think from external points of view, it's what goes on in the group that counts. So you have to know how to do director's cuts. And what exactly is a director's cut and how does it work? Well, this is really an advanced, it's a combination of many factors, namely years of experience, pacing, so many factors go into this. And I suppose the best way to look at it is you have to start thinking about some of your best films. And you have to start thinking about the target audience and what you're trying to do. And some great examples to where I'm going with this are really simple. Where director's cuts can be incredibly powerful is very simply this. When you're coming towards the end of a story night, when you're running your games and you're getting near the end, and we talked about pacing before, the beauty is you've got to know how much time you've got left at the end and what you're trying to do for the finish. The biggest thing I like to leave my players on every time we finish is the high. I sell them that. I sell it every time. It's the same as a film. You know, you want the film to end on a high. You know, sometimes that high can be, you know, what you want in DMing is the high to be a really good one, hopefully centred around the players. It doesn't always work out that way. That's life. But if I can generally leave them on a high, they're going to want to come back for more, without a shadow of a doubt, and they're going to really have enjoyed the game. It's funny how critical that final couple of hours of the session, that final piece of your night, actually is to the overall enjoyment of everybody in that game. People instinctively look back with rose-tinted glasses. So that you know, it's like everything. If I talk to you now for a video for 2 hours, probably the only thing you're going to remember is probably the last thing I say. So that's why the end of your sessions are so critical to the overall feeling and view of what people think of you. And director's cuts do this. So let me try and go into this in a little bit of detail, and hopefully it'll all make sense. You're running a game. Let's take a really simple scenario. It's a dungeon delve. There's 30 rooms. The characters have covered off 20. There's 10 rooms to go. You've got less than an hour to go. What's the point of fluffing out 7 or 8 rooms with rubbish? You know, if you look at it instinctively, thinking about that module, and you think, oh God, that's all fluff, that's fluff, that's fluff, that's fluff. Shorten it, bring the end forward to the end. You know, bring the end to the end of your session. Know that that's going to take about half an hour, so you've got 30 minutes to make sure that you close up what they're doing, make it logical, and bring that piece to the end. Cut off the rest of the rooms, lose them, they're not important, and your characters will experience the end piece and the finish. It's exactly the same thing. It's a director's cut. It's just knowing to do it. It's the same as if your players go off on a tangent and you're running out of time at the end of your session. You're thinking, Christ, that's not what I thought of at all. You know, this is awful. What am I bloody going to do here? How is that going to work? How's that going to fly in my game? You know, what am I going to do here? Look, if the idea is solid and a good one, and it's, you know, it might even be better than yours, go with it, run with it. Ad-lib, use your ad-libbing skills, bring your end piece to them. Don't worry about anything else. Let them if they've gone off on a really good tangent, or they think it's a good tangent, players are funny animals, yeah? They think they're doing great sometimes, and you're thinking behind the screen, God, can't they see it? No. So run with what they've got. If it's better than yours, and sometimes even if it isn't, sell it. One of the great skills, right? And it's such an important thing, and I'm probably going to cover this off in another video for DM's Tips. I'm the greatest salesman in the world in terms of, I will sell the finish. I will sell my feelings on a plate. Yeah? It's not the true feelings that I have in the game, but it's really important to the players. So, for example, if they go and do something I hadn't thought of, rather than sort of go, I need to take a break there, guys, I haven't really prepared for this, actually, you know what, that sort of killed it, hasn't it? It's destroyed it. Try and go with it. Ad lib, use your skills, build around it, bring that end in. But the beauty here is sell it, yeah? So when they go off in that tangent, smile to yourself, yeah? Or smile openly. Really play to it. Or even say openly, yeah, guys, God, you've done well there. I didn't think you'd get that. They don't know you don't know. Yeah? I'm going to try and illustrate this to you in a very simple way. Let me just take something, okay? Here's a great example. Let's pull one of these out here. This is one of my wife's books. I don't know this book. I've never seen it before in my life. But let me show you something, right? I'm going to tell you about this book. This book here. I'm going to tell you about it. This book, in a nutshell, can be summed up like this. Brilliant, sharp, honest, moving, and an exquisite social comedy. That's how I'd sum up this book. It's about Adrian Mole. He's 39 and a quarter, and so on. Well, how did I get this information? I only read the back. That's all I've done. I've read the back. But I've sold it. I've made it sound like I've read the entire thing. I'm selling to the players. The key is I'm selling to the players, well done. And there's no harm letting little slips out, I think it's ingenious, personally. I really do, as a director's cut. I love selling it. It's one of the great skills, yeah? Because players are players. They want to feel good about a game. How are you going to gain... I want my players to come back year in, year out. I want my players, my friends, I want them to feel good. I want to feel good, yeah? It's not all about me. Sometimes my storylines, people see the great ideas I have, and great. But most of the time, this brilliant idea that I've got, we never see the whole thing, because players don't work the same way as we do as DMs. And as soon as you learn that, and as soon as you understand about director's cuts, and how to utilise them, and the ability in this to actually sell it back, you've got to win. You've got win-win on your hands. You've got loads of people who will talk to you for years and years to come about the brilliance of your games. And that really, in a nutshell, is the magic of director's cuts. And this part that I'm just speaking of, this tiny part that I'm speaking of here about selling it, is ultra critical. It's critical to the finish in director's cuts, or anything you're doing in your DMing. There's no harm in letting little slips out. So do say from time to time, that's brilliant, I didn't think you'd get that. They don't know you don't know. That's the magic of DMing. No one knows what goes on behind the screen. And that's what's so much fun. And I'm going to come off in another DM's video. I'm going to talk to you about seamless gaming. And that's a story for another time. Anyway, listen, I've been Sean Connors. This has been DM's Tips. I hope you found it of interest. Happy gaming until the next time. Take care of yourselves.